The Arab Spring refers to a series of popular uprisings and protests that swept across the Middle East and North Africa region in the early 2010s. These mass demonstrations, fueled by socio-economic grievances, political repression, and calls for democratic reforms, led to significant political changes and reshaped the course of the region. Let's delve into the details of the Arab Spring, its causes, key events, and its impact on the affected countries. Background and causes. The Arab Spring was triggered by a combination of factors, including political oppression, high unemployment rates, corruption, economic inequality, and the absence of democratic institutions. Decades of authoritarian rule, limited freedom of speech, and lack of socio-economic opportunities contributed to widespread frustration and disillusionment among the populations of several Arab countries. Key events and countries. The Arab Spring protests began in Tunisia in December 2010 when Mohamed Bouazizi, a street vendor, set himself on fire in protest against government harassment and corruption. This incident sparked nationwide demonstrations demanding political change and better living conditions. The success of the Tunisian uprising inspired similar movements in other countries, including Egypt, Libya, Yemen, Syria, Bahrain, and others. Protests and demands. Protesters in the Arab Spring demanded an end to authoritarian rule, corruption, and human rights abuses. They called for greater political participation, freedom of speech, economic reforms, and social justice. The demonstrations often took place in central squares and public spaces, with participants utilizing social media platforms to organize and spread their messages. Political change and turmoil. The Arab Spring had varied outcomes across different countries. In Tunisia, it resulted in the ousting of President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali and the establishment of a democratic government. Egypt witnessed the downfall of President Hosni Mubarak, but subsequent political instability and military rule followed. Libya experienced a civil war that led to the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi, while Syria plunged into a devastating and ongoing conflict. Other countries faced varying degrees of political change, repression, or managed to suppress the protests. Regional impact. The Arab Spring had a profound regional impact, reshaping the political landscape and triggering significant geopolitical shifts. The uprisings inspired hope and sparked discussions about political reform and democratic ideals. However, the aftermath of the Arab Spring also brought challenges, including power vacuums, sectarian tensions, refugee crises, and the rise of extremist groups in some countries. Lessons and reflections. The Arab Spring served as a reminder of the power of collective action and the desire for change among oppressed populations. It highlighted the importance of addressing socio-economic grievances, promoting inclusive governance, and fostering opportunities for citizen participation. The events of the Arab Spring also underscored the complex nature of political transitions and the challenges of balancing stability and democracy. The Arab Spring represents a significant chapter in the history of the Middle East and North Africa, reflecting the aspirations and struggles of the people in their quest for political change, social justice, and democratic governance.